Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So, last episode we went and built up a small little kelp farm. I say small, it's got about 64 kelp plants in it. That is fully automated, all pushing into a smelter to generate kelp blocks, partially for fuel and also partially kind of to get a little bit more experience to repair our tools. But today I've got a few ideas of what to work on around here. And it's not going to be another automated farm. I think we're going to do a little bit of detail work and decoration up on top of the island. So we really haven't done a whole lot up here recently. We've just gotten a bunch of our terraforming in. And we've got this space over here marked out for a little farm just to kind of keep our extra sheep in. And I'm thinking maybe putting in a bit of a potato farm over here that we can use the villagers to automate. Unfortunately, something happened with all the villagers we had bred already. So we're gonna have to breed a few more. It's not that big of an issue. Not like we don't have emeralds and we can't just easily breed more villagers. So we're gonna need some more. My guess is some sort of zombie got them. Fortunately, it didn't get our toolsmith and butcher there. But what I'm thinking is we might get at least the building part of that farm in. Looks like we're having some enderman problems. Anyway, we've got a farmhouse to build and maybe a couple of pieces to go along with it. So in order to get this farm in, gotten a few different things. Got, thinking maybe some jungle planks for the actual house part of the farm. We do need a small area here marked out for our potato farm. So let's do here. We want maybe a 7 block field, a 7x7 field. Something like that, maybe? Then we'll put our villager to trade right over here. Actually, you know what we could do? Put the house right here. So instead of having fence along this side here, we'll put the corner of our house. And then, see, where's the center here? Right here will be where we put our little villager to go in there. I think that'll work. Because obviously for this we need a farmhouse. So we might as well combine the need for a villager building in with our need to put a farmhouse over here and make the two one and the same. So something like that maybe? Put hopper here, villager right in here. So we'll make sure to put some sort of pen right through there. I think that should work. It makes a nice little kind of connection between the farm and the house here. Kind of gives it a little bit more purpose to being here. The rest of the house will go across over here. Back here, that should be good. And then it's like a small little barn, maybe from here across. I think we only need like 3 or 4 sheep to go in the barn. So that should just be able to go out to here and go from there. All right. I kind of like this idea. We'll have to make sure we put in a path going up here. Probably should get that in now before we get too much detail work around here. So I'm thinking we'll probably go up right here. So we need to come off of our path from over here and then just kind of curve that up and around a little bit. So we'll do that. We'll go up over here. I don't want this to be just a straight path, so let's bring that out a little bit more, and then that'll go right up to the front door, which I think here looks like a good spot. Okay, I think we have a plan. Now all we have to do is just get this built up. So, I'm gonna get to work, kind of getting our basic shape in, at least for the house. We're going to ignore the crop farm here for quite a bit. We will dig that section out there just so we can put in our water source. But let's get the main bit of the farm in, and then I'll be back. All right, so we've got a kind of rough mock-up here with the walls. I'm not quite sure that I like this the way this is right now. I'm tempted to kind of put the mud bricks here along the bottom and change most of the walls to be our jungle planks. I do like this mix. It's just, it doesn't quite feel farmhouse enough. But we've got our doors. I think we're going to do our normal copper doors, but to kind of match the rest of the house, we might just wait till the first oxidation stage, like that block there. I think that'll look better. We've got holes marked out for the windows, though we don't actually have any glass because we're out of glass and we kind of haven't traded with our librarian enough to get more glass. So for now, that's going to stay like that. For the floor, I'm thinking we'll just do the jungle planks, which, looking at that now, I definitely think I want to change how this is so that we have the jungle planks in the walls instead of having everything else. So I'm going to have to go and change all of that, move the mud down to the bottom, take out the copper here. Not quite sure what we're going to do with that one. Maybe we'll keep some of the copper in the bottom. I don't know. We've got some options here for what we can do. But I definitely think that the jungle is going to be better as walls instead of mixed in all together. So we've got that to swap out. But other than that, I think this is kind of turning out quite nice. So we've got some oxidized copper here. I think we'll just kind of bring that down to the first layer. Turn those into our shutters. We need... Okay, that's kind of weird the way that does that. Yeah, we're going to have to play with how those work, with how that line is. But I definitely think those would do well for shutters. And again, we've got stuff we need to play with for this, getting everything set up. And just kind of getting everything in with the floor. Now, for our stables, as you can kind of see, we've gotten the fences in. No actual walls yet. We've got the start of our hayloft that we like to do for that. And getting close to where we can actually start moving sheep in. But let me go and redo this wall here how I want it. And then I'll be back. Hopefully we can actually get that wall in for the stables as well. All right. So we went and got villagers actually in here. So we've got one in there. We've got one in there. They're currently a fisherman and a shepherd. I don't know why. I've tried to break their blocks here, but they keep seeming to want to stay as their professions. Maybe they'll eventually decide to link to something and stop being fishermen and shepherds. But we did get the rest of the walls fixed. Well, except for this one here that apparently I completely forgot to do. Oh well. But while I was working on getting these up, I realized that we've got one small problem. So this farmhouse is going to be in the middle of a forest. That's what we've got all this for. So we've got our roots, lots of roots all through here. So as much as I want to put the farm in here, and I think we still will, it doesn't make sense to have a perfectly intact farmhouse in the middle of a forest. So what we could do is we could kind of change this a little bit, make this a little bit more open, take out some of the roots, make this a little smoother. Or we could do the more fun thing and make this into a ruined farmhouse. And I think that's what we're going to do. So our copper here that might have been a little bit less oxidized or unoxidized is going to be fully oxidized because that way it shows it's been left out in the rain. We're going to kind of make all of these walls here a little bit more rough and ruined. So we've got stairs and slabs here to mix in. I'm going to keep some of the shutters. Actually, we might take out one or two of the shutters as if they've fallen off. But we've got all of this. You need to make sure that this is actually even going to work as a farm. I think we need a slab instead of a full block above the hopper, something like that. I need to check. So we've got a little bit of work to do with this. And then we got to get a roof. What I'm thinking for that is maybe we'll go up one or two blocks, use some of our tiled deep slate. We've been using a lot of it. And we'll put some trees and stuff on top of that. But the other thing that we're going to do with this is I'm gonna take out some of this floor here. We're gonna replace this with some moss. And we've got a whole bunch of other stuff here that we can put in. Like we've got our moss carpets here that we can put in the windows or old windows. We might need to make a few more glass panes, but a lot fewer than what we needed to because these are ruined windows. They don't need to have glass panes in them. We got glow lichen we can put in. I've grabbed some pale hanging moss. Got some vines to drip down through here. Lots of various little things that we can do. Kind of make this just a little bit more overgrown and just kind of increase the ruined aspect to it. Might grab some of our pale moss carpets, put on the inside here. Kind of like it's rotting, it's mildewy, something like that. So I've got a lot of little bits of detail and stuff inside the house here to work with. And figuring out how we're going to do the roof, and also figuring out more of how we're going to do these trees, because we definitely need a tree on top of this. Or two. Possibly three, two in the house and one in the barn. So I'm going to go work on getting that in, get this set up, and then I'll be right back. All right, so we've gotten, I think, the interior of the house here. It's pretty well done. Gotten lots of that pale hanging moss, lots of hanging moss, lots of glow lichen around here. Just kind of covering this whole area. Haven't gotten any glass panes in because we still haven't gotten any more glass. But while we've been working on this, we got a few interesting things from the Wandering Trader. For one thing, we finally got dark oak saplings. So let's go get those planted, at least one planted up. We got these wildflowers and this tall, dry grass, which I've been playing around a little bit with this stuff. It's going to be kind of interesting. And put some down over here so you can better see how it looks. And I like it. It's going to go really well over here, just in various spots. I can't wait to do more with that. Definitely going to have to do some stuff to get more of this. I think we can just bone meal it and it'll grow more around it, like our glow lichen. So we'll have to get more. We also got these wildflowers, which, oh, okay. Those kind of look like the cherry blossoms that we can put down. Those are going to be really nice. Just scatter some of those. Maybe in here. Maybe like a handful in here. Just scattered about, maybe. Just like that. Yeah, that could add a nice little bit of color to this area here that this is missing. But as you can see, we do have the roof on the farmhouse now and the barn. And no tree. We still don't have a tree in there. We do have a villager out here collecting up some potatoes. We don't really have much of the outside decorated, though. Mostly just the inside here. And a few little things in the barn. So we did get the sheep in. Still have two more. And apparently we're missing two more sheep in the back barn. I don't know what happened to them, though. But all in all, I'm quite liking how this is coming out. We did also move the chicken coop up here just to be more at the farm. I wasn't quite liking having it separated by the road here. So instead, it's kind of more tied in with the farming area here. And I'm quite enjoying how this is turning out. Still got a few more little bits and pieces to put in. But the main thing is we need to get that tree on top. So I'm thinking for this area here, we're going to do some mangrove-based trees, which means we're going to need some mangrove. Could also do some dark oak. Dark oak could go well now that we actually have that. I have to play around with it and see what I come up with. All right, so there we go. We now have a tree on top of the house. And you can see we've got the roots wrapping around the outside of the house there. And I think that looks really nice. Now, on the inside here, this was actually a bit of a pain to do because we had to avoid the hanging pale moss that we already had in here. So I think if we do this again, we're going to put in the trees before we hang all the moss from the roof. But I think we definitely need another tree on this side here. Maybe not one of the mangrove ones. I've got some more ideas for trees. But for now, I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. We've gotten quite a few more potatoes. So we've gotten over a stack, so I'm thinking he might actually be tossing them, which is good. But again, for right now, I think that that is probably going to be it for today. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what is going on this island and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.